know those dreams that seem so distant, they're almost impossible? Something so crazy you're not really sure how you'd even get there. Yeah, that was us a couple years ago. Hi, we're Aaron and Paul, and back in 2020, right after Paul got his pilot's license, we started making weekend trips, flying together and exploring all over California. We fell in love with the adventure aviation could take you on, and all the adventures it would continue to bring you on once you landed in new places. We had just come back from our honeymoon, where we spent 2 weeks campervanning New Zealand's South Island with a little home on wheels. During this time, van life was also exploding all over social media as well. And from our tiny one-bed, one-bath rental in California, we watched people travel the country in vehicles they also called home. And that's where this crazy idea began. What if someday we lived on the road, out of our own plane? Well, would it be an Aaron and Paul build video if something didn't go wrong? Guys, it's finally happening. We got the camper set up in.
Can you believe it? It's here. I feel like after such a long time of planning and expectation to actually have everything here is wild.
Before getting this plane, we were already talking and kind of drawing out what our camper setup would look like in it, but it was so rough draft.
From the day one of our build, we've been talking about this would be a camper plane for Aaron and I to live out of.
And then actual plans started happening after Osh around September time.
And where do you begin with that? I don't have references of this is what an airplane camper should look like. So I started looking at materials. We needed something that was structurally solid. So in turbulence, in hard landings, everything would stay in place. So I needed a good material for that. That's when I went on a deep dive of who builds camper vans that are ultra lightweight with really unique materials. And I found this one random YouTube video about an ultra lightweight camper van build. And it was made by this company, OVP, Overland Van Project, outside of Portland, Oregon. And I dropped into their DMs after watching this video. I was like, hey, I love this camper van build up. Want to build out a plane with us? I'm thinking we start with cleaning out the plane, get everything organized and sorted so that way we have a good foundation, and then maybe actually pull out the back seat.
Okay. I haven't worked in a shop in a second.
Haven't had this seat out in a while. Bolts are out. You ready to take it out?
Oh, frick. Oh my god, I'm screwing the floorboards again.
Guys, I totally forgot about this. At the end of the build, Aaron and I were like, okay, everyone that touched this plane in the build needs to sign this plane. And so on the back of this panel, the whole team signed it.
It's all their signatures.
That's fun to just take this off and see that again. We're just jumping right into it right now. This is box number 2. They all have numbers on them, but we still don't have instructions yet. So at least there's numbers. So we have cabinet number 1, cabinet 13, which I think there's only 3 cabinets. So I don't know where 13 is yet.
We don't know where to start.
I think we have one more box. So I guess we'll open that and maybe there's instructions.
Maybe there'll be instructions.
First impressions, Aaron.
Okay, first impressions. I really like the color. It was kind of hard to choose because it was online. We didn't have samples sent of the type. And so I was a little worried. I was like, is it going to be too gray? But Dustin was like, guys, looking at photos of your plane, I think it would work well. And I think this is actually a really good wood for ours. It doesn't blend in too light. We really were trying to find some really ultra lightweight materials, and OVP is a master at them. And they recommended this honeycomb aluminum.
First impressions for me, when I picked up the very first panel, we have the whole box of stuff, and the box itself is heavier than what I'd normally lift in the gym. Picking up these panels, impressively light. You look at something like this and I don't know, my brain is confused because this is lighter than what I think it looks like. Also, I think it's pretty interesting to look inside of the panel to see the honeycomb.
I mean, it looks like wood on the outside, but little do you know, that's what's on the inside.
So honeycomb aluminum specifically, there's special finisher devices or machines that can actually cut it appropriately and then finish out the edges. And that's something that OVP has access to in their factories. So all of this is cut specific to the spec of our plane, per like the CAD drawings that they have. The drawings that we went off of were the structural drawings of the aircraft. And there's only so much you can do with those, right? Because we have interior fabric in here. So there's like clearances that were not super clear on the CAD drawings. Those are the things that were like, okay, in this first dry fit, we need to make sure that all the clearances are good. And I think we just have to put it together to figure that out. This is one of the things that wasn't necessarily in the CAD drawing. And it's something we tried to compensate for, but we're just not 100% sure. So that's something that we'll have to figure out.
All right, all the pieces are laid out. There's actually quite a few of them. I'm like looking at it visually, I'm like, how is this going to fit in the plane? But Paul was just measuring it out and it looks like it's going to. Like everything's measuring according to spec. But visually looking at this, I'm like, oh my gosh. How? I don't know.
You know we don't play, stay out the way. Check out this look on my face. I'll come save the day. Give me my cape. Look at I'm flying away.
I mean, we kind of knew that we were gonna run into some like hiccups. I think now it's just like, well, what's next?
We were nervous about the lip of the door and this not being able to pull out. And sure enough, ultimately the cabinet's just too big. It's a little bit too tall.
It will be sick. We just gotta figure out next steps. So we'll talk to Dustin in the morning.
Yep.
All right, team break.
Dude, successful day too.
Successful day. Well done, team.
Good morning, everyone. It is day 2 of our camper plane conversion. Before we left last night, we put the first cabinet into the back of the plane. I mean, this is version 1, so we know that there's gonna be modifications. We knew this coming into it. Then I put in the countertop to the second counter along with the fridge, and I don't think it's all gonna fit. We were hoping that version 1 would at least fit, and then version 2 would just increase functionality, but this may not fit. So, that being said, today we're going to finish building out version 1, the bigger cabinet, and then we'll see how it fits, finalize like how it fits. And if it's not, then we have a plan B to get us on the road in the short term while we wait for the second rendition. So that's where we're at right now. We just got back to the hangar this morning and time to grind to get this second one out.
Wow! And I love how this, like, it's locked into place. So if we hit any turbulence or any, like, hard landings, because someone's flying.
Whoa! All right, moment of truth.
Moment of truth. It looks really big.
I think it'll fit. I just don't think the fridge will fit. I think that's what it's gonna be.
Which we need the fridge to fit.
Yeah.
Okay, so truth be told, our original game plan when we first got this prototype in was to build it out, maybe make a few modifications, and then hit the road. But we needed to make a few tweaks to help her fit, and also at the same time kind of realized we wanted more functionality in the space. So Paul and I went back to the drawing board to redesign the entire layout from scratch. Something that could be multifunctional and make travel easy, since we're gonna be traveling and on the road for the next couple of years. After we finalize this new layout, we'll start building out prototype number 2. Make her look pretty, install everything, and go for a weekend camping trip. Nothing too crazy or extreme, just try out this new setup, make sure it works. And then we'll head up to Oregon, where OVP can scan the new camper setup and order it in a lightweight material, goal being to cut the weight of the final setup in half. We've called in reinforcements.
The crew flew in from Dallas. We like jumped on a call with them the night that we built this out. And we were like, we thought this was gonna fit, but now we gotta like go back to the drawing board. And they're like, want us to fly out? And we're like, yes.
Also, Tyler's our editor, if we haven't said that already.
Today, Tyler and I are going back to the drawing board, trying to figure out how we can modify this. We're stepping back out of the solution we had, which is the cabinets, and trying to go back to functionality of like, okay, what are our main goals? What are we bringing with us? And how do we want to interact with this on the road? So now we're just like looking at this and trying to be very practical of like, okay, how can we utilize the space well?
So this is the beginning of a whole new floor plan than what Paul and I kind of originally designed. We knew that we were going to be working and tweaking some things, and we kind of combined brains with Journey and Tyler, and Tyler came up with a brilliant idea of seeing if we can make the cabinets be the floorboard. So then that way there feels like there's more space in the plane, because our one like thing that we could not get over visually with the other cabinets is how much room it took up. And being on the road for the next year and a half, we still kind of like want to have space. We're gonna shift the floorboards right now before we actually make them out of the material Paul and I will probably use for the next couple of months. And then hopefully OVP is down to replicate it if it's functional and if it works well for us into like a solid, beautiful product. Let's just talk through everything we're gonna have with us real quick, Paul. Pillows, sleeping bags, tent, shoes, all back here. Camera gear, clothes are gonna be in here. We already have battery up there. We have fridge here.
I'm liking this. Do you feel good about this?
I feel really good about this, yeah. I feel
feel good?
I feel good about this.
You feel good?
Are you worried at all about weight in the tail?
I'll have to run, final weight and balance and everything, but I don't know that this is going to
greatly affect it.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be noticeable. I'm sure we'll feel it. It's not going to be that much weight.
We were doing the weight and balance for the plane when she was like fully built with Bear Hawk. She was pretty like nose heavy, so much so that they added in 35 pounds, I believe, into the tail. And it's because the engine and on top of that the avionics, we had to kind of even it out in the balance in the tail with the 35 pounds of lead.
When we fly with two bigger pilots up front, you're definitely at the front of the envelope. We're forward CG. As I've been talking to people, it's fairly uncommon. Like most people like need a lot of weight in the front. We don't. Like we need more weight in the back. She'll fly better with weight in the back. So I do think this will be beneficial for her. If it's too much, which I really don't think it will be, but if it is, we can always take the weight out. 35 pounds in the tail is a ton.
Yeah.
And like taking that out would allow for like 100 pounds here. That is on top of the tail wheel. Good morning, everyone. We had a successful day yesterday planning everything. It's kind of weird when you spend so much time planning, you don't feel like you did anything, but we did. We planned out the whole back and we went back to the drawing board and I feel pretty good about where we're headed with this. So last night after we left here, we went to Home Depot and we got all the supplies, or at least the first of what I'm sure is going to be several Home Depot runs were made, and we got a ton of stuff, including some new power tools to make this thing happen. Tyler just had a safety briefing with me of like, okay, this is what you do, this is what you definitely do not do. We're gonna get ripping on some of these boards and get building to get the first few boxes done for the build out. Kind of making like 3 individual boxes. The first box is cut. We just dry fit it in the plane and it looks good. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble it and see how she fits in there. I'm feeling good about it.
Whoa! First box is done.
I know.
Let's go. Okay, I actually really like how we're trying to implement this in the floor because all of a sudden this just frees up so much space.
Dude, feel it. Pick it up.
That's so light.
It is so light. I know.
I would have thought this would have been heavier.
I know.
Are you adding like a floorboard to it too? Or is the floor with like the L track going to be the flooring?
There's gonna be a top on this.
And then nothing underneath?
Correct. Nothing on. Yeah. Oh, that's what you mean. Yeah. No. There's that's gonna be the floor.
It's funny too. This is like obviously like a camper setup in a plane that we have seen hasn't been done before. And so like starting from scratch, we were expecting like, okay, we got to be making like, get ready to make like a bunch of adjustments. And this is so different from where we started when OVP shipped us like the cabinets, but it still is like similar in the sense we're having our own cabinets. It's just part of the floor. So I think it's cool that we're making renditions and taking the stuff we liked from the previous one and changing into things that we think could make it a little bit more functional for the second. And hopefully for the third one, it's like even more functional than the second one we're creating right now and prettier because we're not touching it, no VP's touching it.
It's also funny to me, like I just got off the phone with Dustin, you know, like him and OVP, they've built this beautiful cabinet for us. They put a ton of time into it. And I was like, yeah, I just don't know it's fitting. And they're like, oh, okay, well, it's version 1. and they're like, all right, like they're expecting it because they've iterated in camper vans a ton. And like, this is new to Aaron and I. It's so funny to me. Like I was all stressed that we were going to go back to the drawing board and they're like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
makes sense. They like this plan though, and so here in a couple months we'll go down there and then they'll help us actually build it out, right?
Yeah, like, and a trip to Oregon,
not just from Home Depot stuff.
Well, I'm excited. I get to finally be a part of this build, not just on Home Depot duty.
This is the frame, right? And then let's say this is a floorboard.
So this will be like here.
That'll be on there, and then this will be on the floorboard, and this will just like latch in.
Wow.
So then when we want to like access all of our stuff, we just pop it up, and then we can get in all of our stuff, and then we just snap it back on.
When we were designing like the boxes, the original thing was like, oh, we can just have a lid that like sets on and it can just kind of rest in there. But then if you guys are like flying and hit turbulence and those box lids open up, that could like be a huge problem. So these are little latches for like cabinetry, and normally this is for like the door that goes in, but we're just gonna turn it on this side, and this will be inside the boxes, and then this will be on the lids, and it'll be able to like hard lock into, it like snaps in.
Yeah, that feels pretty good.
One more.
Last one in. Let's go.
Wow, that actually fits really well.
It's like it's custom built for this plane. What in the world?
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I think it's the last part of the box. Tyler and Journey got it all laid out, and we're gonna go cut her out. Last part. Let's go!
Last part.
Let's go!
Let's go.
Let's go! Hey! Oh! Yay!
Yeah, we got our jump boxes with us.
Yeah!
That looks so
She
good.
is lined up.
That's so good.
Guys,
Let's go.
well freaking done.
Those look awesome. And to think we didn't even know what we were doing in the plane like 48 hours ago. It just shows what can happen when you have friends come together. More minds. More minds, more creativity equals
Plane box.
a plane box.
One day, nothing to something.
Yeah, that's wild.
Step 1 was build the frame. Step 2 was make sure it fit. And then now step 3, which Tyler and Journey just finished, was the lids. We wanted the dimension of the lid done, and then once the lid itself was done, now we're gonna cut it up into multiple sections. So, you know, if my socks are here, I can just open the little thing and get in there instead of the entire door. Also, that allows us, like, this back section, the fridge will be on, and we're gonna try to make a door so we can get underneath the fridge if we need to without removing the fridge. Multiple doors allow for us to like get in and around in case there's a one wheel back there or Aaron's hair dryer.
You think this hair doesn't have a hairdryer? Well, you were also talking about how the handles, you were like, you're gonna do 2 holes. So that way everything's flush with the boards.
Everything was way more complicated, and now we're just ultra simplifying it. We want to take away material instead of add. So for our handle to open up these doors, we're just gonna drill in holes, probably 1 inch in diameter, and then route it out to make it smooth, and that will be the handle to open every door.
And then that way everything on top is flat. So we have nothing coming up, and we can still put things on top of it without any handles interfering.
Yeah.
All right, so here's the game plan. We're working on the kitchen today. Paul and Tyler got the supplies from Home Depot. We're making a ton of Home Depot trips at this point. I feel like we practically live there. Today, we're working on the kitchen setup. We're gonna make her not only modular like the rest of it, but we're also gonna put her on a track so that we can pull her out from the plane in order to cook. Tyler is gonna be cutting out the pieces in order to start her off, and I'm gonna be doing some sanding. So let's get going.
Okay, wait, you and Tyler have been working on this for a second. Explain the kitchen setup, because this is so fire.
This morning we planned out the whole kitchen setup. We whiteboarded it out, we drew it out. We spent a long time at Home Depot finding the right hardware for it and everything. Tyler just went ahead and ripped it down while I was working on some other stuff and started putting it together. And this is the first kind of time you can see the kitchen. So we have this toolbox in as a placeholder. We still have to build the floor of the kitchen, but this is kind of how it goes. First slide comes about here. Second slide will slide out to right about there. We have lids on all of this. The stove will live in here while it's in the plane, so it's secure in flight, and then we can just take it out, pop it on top, open her up, have cooking out here away from the plane. Sink is right here, and then when we're ready and done, slide it back in, and slide her back in.
Oh my gosh.
Take
That just
off.
is like so much more space that comes out with the double slide. Y'all
And
freaking crushed
Still
it.
looks like it leaves so much room inside.
I just can't believe how much more functional everything just got. Like 1, 2, and then we're gonna have a third prototype.
I just ran out of screws, so we're done with this for the night. We have to make another Home Depot run, but the boxes are getting mounted in, and this one back here is actually fully mounted in. It's bolted down, and she feels really strong in the plane. Yeah, moving the plane right now. That's awesome. So just bolted down here. We'll add a washer and make it a little stronger of a connection, but I think that's looking way better than we ever thought 3 days ago.
Definitely.
That's really good. But I think that's a wrap for tonight, and then we're gonna try to crank a lot of this out tomorrow. So hopefully just one more build day. These two leave tomorrow, so we got to crank this out tomorrow.
We got a list of things to do. Journey and Tyler are flying back home today, which is so sad. We really want to get all the materials cut before they leave, and at least things like assembled together. Journey and I are gonna head to Home Depot, pick up a few things, and then I think we're gonna do some sanding, put on some hinges. Hopefully the kitchen is assembled finally today. The kitchen has been like our biggest question mark or concern because it is like the heavier part, but also the more complex part to build out. So we're really hoping to get that at least fully assembled, if not like close to being done before they leave. We got about 4 hours before they head out, so let's roll.
Look who just got back.
We brought all the goods. I am so blown away. You guys did this,
So
and
this-
it's sliding too?
Okay, so sort of. It's not attached to the ground yet. I'll hold it in as you pull it out.
Oh, it locks too?
Yeah, it locks into place.
This is wild. This is so much space that's like in such a little square.
Between those two pieces of wood and those rails, that's all like plate storage and all
Oh,
that.
so that'll just be under
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh, and this is basically the lid for
Yeah.
that.
exactly.
So we don't even need a lid on top. Guys, this is incredible. We got an hour and a half left until Journey and Tyler have to leave. So time is flying by. So game plan for the rest of the day, Paul and I are gonna finish the hinges for the drawers, and Journey and Tyler are gonna finish cutting up the rest of the wood that we need to finish this project out. We are freaking cooking, people! And if you're asking me how much caffeine I have had, just 1 cup of coffee and a Monster. Journey and Tyler low-key have had like 3 Red Bulls each, so.
What the heck? That looks so good. We don't have time to gawk at it too long, but look at this. It's pretty good.
Well, that wraps up Camper Build Out Week 1. We still have so much to do, but we feel like we're finally headed in the right direction with the second prototype. We truly wouldn't be here this quickly without Journey and Tyler. We're hoping to have her finalized sometime next week before testing her out, and then hopefully, maybe, we'll finally make our way up to Oregon.